Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal and this is going to be a Goddess Tarot reading. So I got my Goddess of Love Tarot deck and this is a really different style deck. It's really beautiful, okay? It even says this book and deck is about embodying the erotic, the divine feminine. Okay, so this is gonna be, you hear my candle popping? Ooh. This is gonna be a reading for like my divine feminines, okay? Because it's about invoking this energy and bringing out the inner goddess, okay? Now my masculines, you can watch this too, okay? But it's more gonna be for like feminines. Okay, so I wanted to read a little bit about this deck before we get into the cards so you can understand a little bit how to take it. It says, may the goddess of love bless you and keep you. May she guide you deeper into the mysteries of your heart. May she hold you on your journey in perfect love and perfect trust. And may these cards be keys that unlock her energy within you. Okay? Alright, so I wanted to read a little bit about the beginning of it and then we'll get into it. So, because this is going to be like a teaching, alright? Alright, so my heart is calling and the keys to unlock its sacred mysteries are in your hands. Welcome to the Goddess of Love Tarot. The Tarot is the portal into the esoteric. To enter requires trust, honesty, and vulnerability. For the cards to do their job, you must meet them halfway by opening your heart to their possibilities. Like the goddess, the Tarot unfolds at your truest intentions to meet your situation at hand. This deck is also a gateway to the temple of the Goddess of Love and Sex. The temple may exist in sacred space around the world, but this is the only one you need and the most sacred one of all, your heart. Work with this deck for all masters of lust and love, romance and pleasure, and where the goddess resides so you can use it to explore. And I'm not going to get into the whole list, right? But I don't want to read word for word. I just want to get you a little bit of feel of it, right? So the tarot is broken down into two parts. The arcana, which means the secrets. And there are 22 major arcana cards which represent big life changes and milestones, and 56 minor arcana which represent the day-to-day situation. So within the 56 minor arcana, there are 16 court cards which embody the archetypes you meet and embody in life. Together, these cards speak in the totality of the human experience, and in this case, the spiral path to meet the goddess of love, lust, and love, and eventually live as the manifestation of her. Okay, so the major arcana. Although the tarot often has been written about through the lens of the hero's journey, leaving home to face the intense truths and returning transformed, it can also be viewed from the perspective of the goddess journey, in which the goddess goes into the underworld and encounters something dark, something Plutonian, something that renews her. The goddess is only the goddess after she has gone through the pain that has brought her to a new expression of self. So does pain and heartbreak, grief and transformation, you as much as love, lust, and desire. When you embrace this heavenly and chthonic in this way, you too begin the goddess journey and begin living in the major arcana. Okay, so the minor arcana. Whereas the major cards tell a story of your soul's evolution, the minor card speaks of the trials and tribulations of everyday life. Although they may seem less important or exciting, the truth is you live out the minor arcana with more frequency, and when you work with them, you reap their wisdom. The wands are a realm of sex magic, inspiration, and the power of the erotic energy to manifest and create. The cups represent heart magic, romance, and the relationship with giving and receiving love, and the renewed sense of connection to love and lust. The swords are the domain of the mind, the way you think, communicate, and process, and they represent the arena of the shadow. The stories tell yourself and the beliefs you hold around romance and connection. And finally, we have the pentacles, which represent body, sex, work, money, and the home, and what you need in the mundane world to survive. This represents embodiment in the magic of sex and the love in the flesh. Together with the minor are the court cards, traditionally the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. Some of them are renamed in this deck as the maiden, the witch, the queen, and the crone. They represent the archetype powers that you can call on through muses, sources, and teachers Although you may live out by embracing their knowledge, the minor arcana core cards can transform your daily life into rituals of awakening the goddess of love and lust within. Okay, so beautiful, right? Okay, we're not going to get into how to read the tarot, know how to do that. Okay, so the goddess of love blessing. So they asked you to bless this deck upon using it. I've had this deck for a little while, but I've never done the blessing on it. So I thought it'd be neat to do it in this reading right as we're starting. So it says, this is not just a tarot deck. It is a portal to the goddess of love and to the space in which she resides within your heart. You may wish to call upon her to guide you in this journey of the sensual and erotic through a short prayer of evocation. Say this blessing after cleansing and consecrating your deck or before you read. Okay. O goddess of love and lust, she of divine sensuality, I ask you for your blessing upon this deck and upon myself to support the growth and evolution brought forth by my true will. May you guide your reading effortlessly and share with me your wisdom, blessed by the highest magic and love, and the blessing and spell is done. So it is. All right. See, and like even look at the cards, how it looks like a portal. You see the different layers? That's cute. Like I went specifically for this deck too. I knew that I needed to go get my Goddess of Love deck for my storage locker, so I went to get it, right? And the pink and the love cards, right? And it's interesting is I knew right away this morning that I woke up, I knew that I was going to do this reading like this, and then I had to clear out some energy. I had another reading I had to do at first. I don't know. There's something different about this one. It's beautiful. And then they have different spreads that you can do that are fun. The spread to heal heartbreak, the clarity of the mind, body, and spirit to explore sex magic. It even talks about using different cards and envisioning them while engaging in erotic energy. So I don't know. It's really fun. There's a lot of different things. Okay, but yeah, practice sex magic with the cards. Use the cards as a talisman. And each of them have a zodiacal, an elemental, and astrological correspondence within them. And then each of them is associated with a certain goddess as well. So I will be pulling out the deck for certain cards for us to take a look at those. So the associations of these cards follow the tradition of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The major arcana is composed of 12 zodiacal correspondence, 7 planetary correspondences, and 3 elemental correspondences, each of which is associated with the Hebrew letter. The minor cards represent planetary placements in different zodiacal signs, and the court cards represent the elements. Okay, it talks about keeping a journal or a grimoire. And then the last thing I'll read right here is on the major arcana. The tarot represents the divine union of all aspects of self, reflected in the journey of the goddess. The majors uncover different facets of magic and soul through the death and rebirth one goes through in life. Here, they represent the living goddesses of love with whom you can connect to pursue the mysteries of each card. They are the guardians of the deck and the rituals that accompany them, and they are portals to the deities. If you are drawn to a particular goddess, you may do further research, learn about, relate to her through prayer, meditation, affirmation, offerings, and working with her card. I highly recommend recording the results of each ritual in a grimoire. Take notes on what you felt like was the knowledge you received. Yep, and then it gets right into this. Sorry, the last thing I will read now is the intro to the minor, because I'm curious. So, the minor arcana. Whereas the major arcana in this deck are the goddesses of love manifested through the archetypical egregore of the tarot, the minor arcana cards act out her energy in day-to-day life. In the same vein, the minor cards reflect the way you live in her image through the body, the pentacles, the heart, the cups, the shadow, the swords, and the erotic, the wands. The minor in this deck are attuned to the frequency of love and sex, with the keystones of the teachings of the goddess, which beauty, pleasure, play, intuition, and love as a guiding force. Ooh, so I'm excited to get into this. All right, so if you like these style readings, then whenever I label them the Goddess of Love Tarot, then we'll take a look, right? And it'll be more fun, as I feel that this will be a little bit different. But I won't be doing the introduction in every reading, but I'll be pulling the book until I learn the cards, right? But that's also why I put this one up. I remember I was so intrigued. I got it around the time that I was invoking a lot of the goddess energy, because I was staying in a little city that's like very Greek, okay, and like they literally do the from around the United States, like it's the top city where they do the Epiphany too. So anyway, it was around that time I was really invoking a lot of the Greek goddesses and working a lot with Artemis, Hecate, there. So anyway, like I felt very guided to the stack. I remember I was really excited when I got it, and but I was like, oh, I've got to learn this one. Like I've got to wait. Like I always know when I'm guided to a deck when I meant to use it. Like it's very significant for me. And like I said, like when I felt guided to get this deck, I was like, oh wow. And I think it was around the time that I changed the name of this channel too, because it used to be Divine Cosmic Seeker. I've changed it a couple times, but it's when they changed it to Galactic, Goddess Codes, right? So I don't know, some significant. You could be going through some sort of change. You could have activated something, and I know that it's very much when I integrated a lot. When I was starting to invoke Hecate a lot more, and she's giving me a lot of the strength and courage that was needed to overcome certain things, right? So maybe for some of you, like, you could be working with these goddesses, these ETs, like I said, if certain cards stand out too as well, they could be signs to work with that goddess. Like if a certain card stands out to you within a reading, like if you want to see the imagery more, like you can just look it up. Just look up Goddess of Love Tarot and whatever card it was, just Google, it'll come up with that card with the full reading behind it, different things, right? So yeah. All right, so anyway, I stopped right away at the Witch of Wands. So the witches are the knights, so this is the Knight of Wands. Now that's very beautiful, because that's often my erotic card for the standard tarot. It's the one I associate a lot with, the Knight of Wands, right? So I feel you're really invoking a lot of this energy, right? It's really powerful energy to harvest, right? So let's look right away at this card, since I was shuffling while I was talking and I stopped right there. Okay, so until I start to see the setup of the book, it might take me a second. Okay. So it represents, because each of these aren't associated with each of the goddesses. It's going to be the core cards. I'm sorry, and I think the majors that have associations with the goddesses, and the majors do, and I think the court cards. Like the Sun card is Sekhmet, Judgment, the Holy Whore. I'm not sure who that goddess is. The World represents Goddess the Heart. Hathor is the Moon. I've got to learn some of these names. Lilith is associated with the Devil. Temperance is Mary Magdalene. Kalima is Death. Ashun is the Hanged Man. Demeter, the Hermit. Rati, the Strength. Freya, the Chariot. The Lovers, Babylon and the Beast. Tara is represented to the Hierophant. The Emperor is Vesta. Goddess Venus represents Empress. Isis, the High Priestess. I don't know some of these names. We have to learn them. Shakti is the Fool, right? Okay. So the Knight of Wands is the Maiden of Wands. No, the maidens are below the knights. They renamed it, the pages, the maidens, but in other decks, I guess. If the Maiden of Wands is the potential of the divine erotic, Then the Witch of Wands acts as the potency of orgasm to bring this into creation. Because the wands are the realm of sex, magic, and fire, I'll show you the card while I'm reading. Because the wands are the realm of the sex, magic, and fire, this illuminates the moment of touch and the climax that manifests new life in new dimensions. Remember your sensual power and the right to reclaim the body as its pleasure as holy. Choose your power. Move into a state of awareness that you never believed you could obtain. The Witch of Wands burns away preconceived notions of what's possible. This card also signifies someone in your life you can turn to, who burns like the goddess flame and who can help awaken this in you. When this card comes, and then there's reversed, so we won't read about the reverse today, but there's an affirmation you can say with each card too. I walk the path of the divine erotic, guided by my power, sexuality, and magic. Wow, so that was the first card that came to mind. Let's see. See, this one's fun. It's a little bit different. That's why I want to get the readings behind, so it'll be more like a teaching of this deck, and it's going to be really fun as it unveils. Four of Swords. Okay, so I'll give the standard meaning while we're looking it up to save time, right? So it's interesting, there's a butterfly right in between those four swords, so definitely some sort of healing or situation. I feel a situation that you needed to heal from could have transformed you, okay? Because butterflies represent that transformation. And it's interesting because on top of the fourth sword looks like the cocoon, right? So I feel like maybe this situation that you healed from, like you recently went through, it kind of pushed you into a transformation, into a healing. The sword peels back perception to reveal the truth. This can be daunting and scaring if you don't take the time to listen. When you are faced with the power of the blade, get your ducks in order and meditate on what you want before a big battle. This integration, this stillness, seems to go against the phallic and action-oriented nature of the suit. By taking time to slow down and listen is critical. In the territory of the heart, it is key to listen to your body, but if your mind is racing, if the old patterns keep surfacing, if anxiety or obsession takes the forefront, then it's not as easy to be in the flesh. Learn to practice. Lean into practices that calm and soothe the mind, breath work, journaling, affirmations, and the most of all, meditation. When the Four of Swords card is reversed, this is the time to rest and solitude is over. Okay, we're not in reverse. It quickly gets into the reverse. This is very significant for me, and especially what's going on, because that's kind of what was going on with me, right? Like, I've just been through so much, right? My nervous system's been through a lot, and I was starting to have like a lot of panic attacks and a lot of things. My health was declining, and lots of things was I wasn't processing things right, and a lot of things, cycles were just on like repeat and things like that. So that's definitely very much standing out to me. Wow. Maiden of Cups. Did that jump? It did jump out. So this is what was on the bottom. Okay. So the Maiden of Cups. So this is related to the Page of Cups. Right? They flip them in here. See, it's renamed the Maiden. Yeah, Page of Cups. Renamed the Maiden of Cups. See, I went right to. Okay, so they do label it that way. They label it as it should, and then it's under rename. Okay. I'm getting it. Okay, so the Maiden of Cups is the goddess of spring. Abundant and something. I'm unafraid of the expression, longings and yearnings of the heart. This is a card of immense vulnerabilities and honesty when it comes to expressing what you're feeling. Although it can bring fuckboy energy. Okay, so this has got fuckboy energy. Okay. Only caring about yourself and your feelings with no regards for how you affect others. This card more than likely represents the rosy glasses of a new crush, a new relationship, or a rite of passage. When you pull the Maiden of Cups, step into the open in the sensual expression of self. Don't listen to fear, but be led by the love within. Consider if there's someone you know who embodies this energy. Someone you can turn to in support of your experience, a mirror to your own ability to love ceaselessly. Oh my God, it's talking so much to me right now. When this card, oh my gosh, that's why cycles could be on repeat. Oh. Wow, let's get some more cards. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's always significant, like the first cards that I pull too when I grab a deck, because I know it's like they stand out very much. And on the first two, because I haven't pulled any until this reading, right? Since I got this deck. Oh my gosh. The Two of Cups is right here. With the Witch of Wands under there, which that's often was my fuckboy card. The player. That's right there. And we had 3 cards jump. The Nine of Cups jumped. Okay. The Empress jumped. And the Crone of Wands jumped. So let's take a look at these 3. Oh my gosh. So that would be the King of Wands. Okay. Well, let's find out about. So we've got basically the King and the Knight of Wands. What is going on? All this passion and love. Okay. Right? Yeah, the Crone of Wands. The King of Wands is the daddy of the tarot. And the Crone of Wands reflects the archetypical power. This is the energy of the powerhouse of Libertime and the mistress of the daddy doom, the caretaker whose vitality and lust for life is unyielding. This is a leader who listens to head, heart, and body, is able to integrate multiple experiences of reality into one distilled perspective. The Crone of Wands is the keeper of wisdom, of the sexual mysteries, the intrinsic of the flesh, and the one who knows the potency of sexual energy. Embrace the sensuality aspect of life and step into your fullest expression as a manifestation of the goddess of lust. You are being asked to become the daddy you've always wanted or needed, or you're being asked to embrace those who are living in this vibration already. Okay. Wow, that daddy card came out with the Empress. So that should be energy surrounding you. Okay, so the goddess represented with the Empress. Maybe it's just the majors. I guess the court cards do not have the goddesses, so it's the majors. So anyway, the Empress is associated with the goddess Venus. Okay. And the planetary correspondence, of course, is Venus. The Empress is effortlessly aligned with the promise of the heart and a pleasure. As Venus, the Roman goddess of sex, love, lust, glamour, victory, and desire, this Empress isn't just an expression of the goddess of love. She is the goddess of love. Venus sings of pleasure as sustenance, of desire as the guiding force, and of beauty as the language of the divine. Venus is an emblem of being a vessel for the divine erotic. Her fecundity represents something being birthed. She is a manifestation of light and body, led guidance, and leads to the pleasure and connection. The Empress comes up during those fertile moments when the desire and experiences you seek are at the edge of manifestation. This is a time of inner transformation and the joys that come with bringing something into this world. Whether this is a creative project, a relationship, a child, or a new way of practicing magic. When the Empress appears, remembering to indulge in whatever connects you to the Venusian current drapes yourself in this delicious fabrics. Kiss slowly, bask in nature, buy yourself flowers, or move your body as you breathe and make sound. The Empress asks you to tap into the pleasures all around. Beautiful. Okay, so we read those two, and the last one's the Nine of Cups energy. So, and the astrological correspondence with the Nine of Cups is Jupiter and Pisces. The Nine of Cups is a card of jubilation and celebration, deep fulfillment, and a paradigm shift. You're nearing completion of a cycle, and although it may never feel like the journey is done, breathe and enjoy the experience as it is right now. I'm talking wish fulfillment, dreams and desires, manifestations into reality. Dwell into the riches of the heart and step into the garden of the goddess of love. Feel the love blooming in Mildred's ways so that you can get to your harvest. You have learned to listen and not reject your heart. You have trusted in the universe and the goddess and in yourself as it is paid off. Wow. And then it goes in reverse. So this is what I'm feeling like, right? That you've went through something that has transformed you, okay? Getting you into this energy. This is your energy and what's going on. And I feel like because the twos are about choices, you have now manifested this in. And I feel like you have like this Witch of Wands in your energy, so the Knight of Wands, and you have this King of Wands. And this made it, you know, all these core cards can represent people. Let's take a look at the Maiden, or no, we already looked at the Maiden of Cups. Wow. Oh, I'm almost at 30 minutes already. Wow. But see how this deck, it's a lot different. That's what I mean. It definitely takes like learning the cards. Yeah, Seven of Wands. What? I feel like maybe you needed to have boundaries up to the world. You did something to close out these cycles. The Wheel of Fortune. But see, looking into these cards, you can find stuff way deeper. Six of Swords, Two of Cups. And the High Priestess. All right, hold on. So I'm going to have to close this one out in just a couple of minutes because I don't like to keep my readings longer than 2 minutes, or 30 minutes. We have 2 minutes left. But I wanted to read the Two of Cups. So, correspondence, Venus and Cancer. The Two of Cups holds special significance in this deck because it is the light that permeates the existence within. Hold on. Because it is the light that permeates all existence when you are dedicated to being a living expression of love. It represents the beloved and the self, the goddess and her devotee, your shadow and your light. It is the blessing of validation of your love and the experience in life, or that you want in your life. Become your own lover first, and then allow the world to fall in love with you. The Two of Cups can indicate romance or a deepening of a relationship through a commitment or a rite of passage, like moving in together or saying I love you for the first time. When it shows up, embrace the soft and vulnerable parts of yourself and turn to yourself for the love that you long for. Wow, that's beautiful. I just seen 2828 on the clock. That could be significant too to look up as like a universal source code number, aka angel number. Oh my gosh. Ace of Cups. And Three of Swords. Look at this Three of Swords with the eye and the swords. Sometimes heartbreak can activate things too. Ace of Cups is always a boon because it represents romance about to bloom and love about to pour throughout from the heavens into the material world. It is a blessing from the unyielding potential of your heart. It is also the goddess of love in her expansive potentiality. The goddess is smiling down at your adventure, your new partnership or desire for such, and more than anything, whatever you desire is about to blossom. This potential is juicy and promising, so trust in your healing and intuition and the guidance you receive from the goddess of how to navigate these waters. That's what I mean. Like, love is here. Oh my gosh. Something, you went through something painful. 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords, Judgment. But it broke you open to like healing and loving yourself to attract that love, to know your worth. This is what's happened here. Okay, the last one we're going to read is the 3 of Swords, and then I'm going to close out this reading. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you have not, and if you like these readings, like you can search them within the channel too. But I'm going to be doing more of these where I read from the book if you like the Goddess Style Tarot. The 3 of Swords is one of the spiciest cards in the deck and one of the most intense. In this deck guided by love, this is especially true as the 3 of Swords represents heartbreak, pain, and torture. It is also the card of endings, and even if you know that this is for the best or that things really weren't meant to unfold any other way, the grief and sadness are real. Instead of running away, the goddess asks you to find tenderness and care for yourself. Don't resist the pain, but find ways to move through it. To the shadow work and the chance to untangle what led you here and what knowledge you can take into your next rodeo. Each heartbreak is a lesson, one that teaches you what you do and what you do and don't want, what you deserve and what matters. When this card shows up in reverse, okay, I'm getting it. Wow, 3113, something with the 1s and the 3s for sure. So all right guys, I'm gonna leave this one here. Love and light to all of you. Definitely watch every full guided too. All right, bye guys.